Happy Halloween, October 31st. There's actually a lot of events that have happened on October 31st. I'm just going to run through a bunch of them. The dissolution of the Austro-Hungarian Empire, gone. The empire is gone on this day, 1918. Nevada Day. Nevada became a 36th U.S. state on October 31st. 1954, the Algerian Revolution against the French colonists begins. 1968, President Johnson orders a halt to all bombing of North Vietnam. Vietnam, October surprise, citing progress with the Paris peace talks. U.S. President LBJ announces to the nation that he has ordered a complete cessation of all air, naval, and artillery bombardment of North Vietnam effective November 1st. Also on this day, and in 1968, the U.S. performs a nuclear test at a Nevada test site. So it became a state on this day. And I don't know the date. When did Nevada become a state? 1864? Okay, so at the very end of the Civil War, Nevada became a state on today. And we detonated a bomb on today in Nevada in 68, the same day that LBJ said we was getting out of Vietnam. We wanted getting out of Vietnam completely in 1975 with the fall of Saigon. Today it's named Ho Chi Minh City, and Saigon was our city, our government, our puppet government. We invaded Vietnam, set up a puppet government. It fell. The communists in North Vietnam from Hanoi. Hanoi is their capital. North Vietnam overtakes South Vietnam today. Vietnam is one unified country, victorious in stopping the imperialist occupiers from taking their control of all the resources, just like the American Revolution did with the British Empire 250-some years ago. People's Democratic Republic of Yemen adopts the Constitution in 1978. 1973, three provisional Irish Republican Army volunteers escaped from Mountjoy Prison in Dublin using a hijacked helicopter. So, exciting stuff. 1969, race riot in Jacksonville, Florida, which I want to come back to that one. 1918, the Spanish flu virus kills 21,000 Americans in 1 week. In 1952, the first thermonuclear bomb detonated in the Marshall Islands. 2011, the global population of humans reaches 7 billion. I think we got like 8, maybe 9 billion now. 802, Empress Irene of Byzantine is driven out. 1517, Martin Luther posts 75 theses on Wittenberg Church, which precipitates the Protestant Reformation. The Irish Republican Army in 1971, 2 years before that, helicopter escaped exploded bomb at the post office tower in London. So Ireland's the island next to where London is. So 1940, World War II, the Battle of Britain ends. The United Kingdom prevents a possible German invasion. Germans are bombing Britain. Britain says, hey, stop it. And then they're like, oh, sorry. 1978, Iranian oil workers go on strike, which is just great. Oil workers go on strike in Iran. 78. I hope they got what they were going for. Remember, MLK died for the unions. MLK died for the garbage workers union. For the garbage workers. That's why he died. He got assassinated supporting that in Tennessee, Memphis, Tennessee. The execution of the Girondins, some of the Girondins were actually royalists who didn't give a shit if, Marie Antoinette and French King Louis XVI would get their heads chopped off or not. And then eventually 22 of them got executed in 1793. But it reminds me of the Reign of Terror. So I don't know if this is too much, if the Girondins were actually trying to overthrow. The Reign of Terror fucked up the French Revolution. The French Revolution was on the right track, just too much blood, So chill out, Robespierre. Robespierre, chill the fuck out, man. Not everybody's got to die. Lenin, Trotsky, Stalin, you motherfuckers too. Shit, calm down. You don't have to start a whole civil war just to take power. The provisional government would have elected you all anyways. You would have had democratic legitimacy for socialism. You did it all wrong because it wasn't an acceptable path. You know, coup d'etats are so, bourgeois. It's so, last week. Let's be cool and let's get democratic legitimacy. Have the people vote for you. Benito Mussolini becomes premier of Italy, 1922. So that's fascism begins, right? That's the day fascism began, 1922, October 31st, when Mussolini became the premier of Italy. J. Edgar Hoover's last meeting with President John F. Kennedy happened on October 31st. Less than a month, JFK would be dead. In 1991, the Palestinians attend a U.S. Mideast peace talk in Madrid. 1993, on October 31st, which is good. Palestine, I saw something that happened in Palestine like 100 years ago. People say Palestine wasn't around. How come? They got historical events. 1993, 25 people killed during the Ghana-Ivory Coast soccer match. So that's two African nations rioting after a soccer match. 25 people were killed. 93, also the same year, the same day, Tupac Shakur was charged with aggravated assault. 2002, a federal grand jury in Houston, Texas, formally indicted former Enron Corp chief financial officer Andrew Fastow on 78 counts of wire fraud, money laundering, conspiracy, and obstruction of justice related to the collapse of his ex-employer. Substantial large oil field that is estimated to contain between 8 and 15 billion barrels is discovered off the coast of Brazil. Don Keller makes his 18,000th skydive. So Don Keller skydiving machine, 18,000 today, October 31st, 1992. Lots of oil is in Brazil. 2010, 5 years ago, we found out that all that oil, so I don't know why their economy would be going down. Brooklyn, New York ended their streetcar service. So 56, right? New York's up and coming. Don't want to do the streetcar thing. That's a blast from the past. Algeria revolution against the French began today. Betsy Rawls wins the LPGA Texas Golf Open. I apologize for that one. KREM TV Channel 2 in Spokane. Washington begins broadcasting. 1954, TV broadcasting begins in Belgium. 53. I'm sorry about all those. Collazo and Torresola attempted to kill Truman in Washington, D.C. Failed, but it was for the Puerto Rico. They wanted Puerto Rico to become an independent state. It wasn't a civil war between Puerto Ricans, but it was sort of a revolutionary thing. I think one of them eventually died, Collazo and Torresola. 1905, there's a great revolutionary demonstration for amnesty. St. Petersburg, Russia. 1864, Nevada became 36th state. 802, Empress Irene of Byzantine is driven out. So, that's October 31st, October 31st events. Plenty of things to celebrate and plenty of more things more ghoulish than Halloween. So, if you want to, be down about something because it's the Day of the Dead, there's plenty of things in history to be down about that happened exactly on this day. And there's other things that we could be cheering on, champion. The dissolution of the Austrian-Hungarian Empire, good. If they're still around, they still want to be expanding and, fighting everybody. So that's a good thing that the Austrian-Hungarian Empire is wiped out. Franz Ferdinand, Archduke Franz Ferdinand, can kiss my ass. Fuck Franz Ferdinand, the Archduke. His whole fucking family, his royal family, his family that turned his back on his wife just because she was Czech, she was poor. She was an aristocrat. She was a royal family, but they turned her back just because she was poor. So fuck his family. He might have actually been the most liberal one, but not liberal enough. And You know, I just have nothing good to say about that empire. Just a horrible empire, one of the worst empires. Badly organized, not even successful in their heyday, right? They own a land here, own a piece of land there, kind of fucking empty. It's like the Holy Roman Empire. It's neither holy nor Roman nor an empire. You don't know what you're talking about. Get the fuck out of here. So, October 31st. It's the midpoint between fall and winter. That's all that it really is. The Celtic Samhain is just a midpoint fall festival between fall and winter. We're halfway between, we're almost to winter. When we get to winter solstice, that's when it's the coldest, but it also means that it's going to get warm. So we're actually on a downward, we're going to get colder and colder and colder and colder until winter, till the winter solstice, December 23rd. So we got a month, 2 months of just hellacious, freezing cold weather. You shouldn't be having actually all these festivals and parties. You should be saving that stuff up for electric, you know, for heating bills, for heaters, blankets, food to be able to live throughout the winter, you know. Shit. How can we be having parties? Let's have a fucking party in the middle of winter. Let's have a party in the middle of spring. Let's have a party during the middle, the heyday of harvest, summer, maybe late summer, you know. That sounds, when it's ample and bountiful and we have a cornucopia of food, supplies, resources, that's when we should have parties, not right before fucking winter. What? That doesn't make any sense. It's like we're going to have this, I don't even want to talk about it. It pisses me off so much. So Halloween, happy in-between point between fall and winter. It's going to get cold for the next month and the next month after that. And then after the winter solstice, it'll get warm again. It kind of does this it's a seasonal thing. It does this every year because of the axis and the rotation of how far the sun and the axis. There's both. There's both things there. So, you know, happy ordering a halt to all bombing in North Vietnam Day, LBJ. Or the dissolution of the Austro-Hungarian Empire. How can you ignore that happened today? That's a big-ass fucking thing. You know, Nevada became a state. That's big. But the entire empire dissolved. I don't know. Maybe it's not that big a deal. Maybe it's not that big a deal. The Spanish flu, what the fuck? 21,000 Americans dead in a week. Spanish flu, 1918. I wasn't aware of this.